Hey guys, Chris here, and I'm a Ukrainian Canadian. Today is July 14th, 2022, and let's get to news happening in Ukraine. Today, unfortunately, there's terrible news happening out of Vinnytsia, which is in central western Ukraine. And I'll show you on the map right here in this city, which is in the western side of Ukraine. Unfortunately, there was a Russian terrorist attack in the center of the city. And Vinnytsia is actually a quite large city. I believe it's about 300 or 400,000 people that live there. And they literally just hit the center of the city without, any warnings, just because they wanted to do that. And they killed officially about 25 people right now, but I'm pretty sure the numbers are going to climb higher than that. And it was deliberately done. It wasn't just some mistake or whatever. They knew exactly what they were hitting, especially because Vinnytsia is so far away from the front lines. Um, so yeah, it's just absolutely terrible news. And I wanted to show you some videos, non-graphic, of course, of essentially, what happened, sort of like showing a little bit of the the situation after the hit was done by the Russians. So I'll stop sharing my screen and we can look at it. So you can see here, it's between Lviv and Kiev. And this is the center of the city, full of smoke. And they hit right around here where I'm pointing. This is a clinic, a medical clinic, where people were actually in there, and all of them died in there, burned alive, with cars burned out. Absolutely catastrophic. It's barbaric from the side of Russians. And there's probably going to be many more people that are going to be declared dead, I think, in the next few days. You can see here a stroller. And this is pretty sad, but this girl died. This was half an hour before the attack, and the little girl died, and the mother is in critical care right now, fighting for her life in the hospital. If you guys see more videos, you can see a piece of her leg was actually dismembered because of the explosion. So again, this is what Ukraine has to put up with. And there's another video right after the aftermath from another point of view. As you can see here, there's large trail of smoke, a lot of destruction, disgusting, barbaric, terrorist. I mean, Russia right now proves itself to be the #1 terrorist state in the world. You can forget about ISIS, Al-Qaeda, all these other, terrorist organizations around the world. Russia is the #1 terrorist organization. They are literally not only threatening Ukraine, but the entire world with nuclear strikes, with famine, with more economic repercussions. They're threatening the entire world, its existence. And so I think the world's goal right now should be to destroy the current Russian government and also reform the Russian people, because the Russian people need reform. They need a re-education, just like the German people require re-education following, the killings of millions of Jews during the Holocaust, right? It was inevitable. And so the same will have to be with Russians, unfortunately, because, and I'll show you why a little bit here. Maybe it's a generalization. It's a accumulation of all, that's bad in Russia, but these opinions are very popular in Russia. And here's the next piece of news I want to show you is the reaction of the Russian people following this attack, right? This is just, 7 reactions, but it's pretty typical. And I think a grand majority of Russian people do think that way. And you can see here, following what happened to the strike, and on Telegram, the Russian reaction was that roll them all out. I will open a bottle of champagne for these 8 Vinnytsian corpses. Oh, so good. There are no civilians, but only fascist supporters if they are. Such an attack should be every hour. Glory to Putin. Bandera scum burn till the end for all of the Donbass's children. Go F yourself. That's for Novakhovka. And that's the center. As you see here, they hit that medical clinic here. Everything's burned down. This is a close-up shot of the clinic. So yeah, there needs to be major reform within the Russian population. I still believe there's a lot of great Russian people that are against this war and are trying to do everything possible to stop it. However, according to the Levada independent polling that exists in Russia, recently they said that about 70% of Russians, or 75, still support this special military operation. And it's just an indication that the majority of Russians are brainwashed, are not understanding the current situation. They lack the critical thinking to try to get their information from different sources. They just believe whatever the government tells them. And this is why I'm mentioning that major reform needs to happen. And that can only happen if the government falls, the current Russian government falls, and there's a Western or pro-Western government that is formed in Russia that is aligned with Western values of democracy, freedom of speech, diversity, right? Things like that. And also the destruction of the military. So these are the two factors that need to be taken into account for this reform to happen. Without that, the Russians will continue doing what they're doing, unfortunately. And I'm going to move on to better news. So essentially, the head of France, speaking on television, said that an energy containment plan would soon be presented. And they're saying, basically, the French authorities are saying that we need to prepare for a scenario in which we will have to do without Russian gas. Russia is using energy as a weapon of war, said Macron. Well, I feel like this should have been, taken into account since 2014, right? Since like Putin started this conflict, and he was threatening already at that point of time that he's going to stop, delivery of gas. And what did Germany and France and all these other countries in Europe do? They just doubled down. They continued supporting Putin. They continued giving him weapons and technologies. He just got a slap on the wrist, essentially. And only now they realize, maybe we should have been more careful. Maybe we shouldn't have invested or threw all of our eggs in that one basket, which is called the Russian gas and oil. But it's better late than ever. But I'm just shocked that this realization only comes now, right? That only now certain governments are starting to wake up and tell themselves that maybe we should do things differently. But as I've said, better late than never. Again, more of Russian barbarism within their own population, right? They're saying, oh, we're all super proud of our army. We're super proud of our heroes. And look how they treat their heroes. So the mom of a Russian soldier that was killed in Ukraine says that the army repeatedly told her that he was alive. And she only found out on social media that he was dead. I mean, it's comical because the Russian people in Russia are being told that glory to heroes, like we take care of our own, that we'll never forget them and the sacrifice they gave us. And in reality, they're hiding their losses. They're hiding them. They're trying to portray as this operation is going smoothly and, casualties are minimal and nothing bad is happening. But in reality, that's what's happening. They've lost almost 40,000 soldiers, with many more missing in action, wounded, unaccounted for. So the losses are catastrophic for Russia. And, it's going to continue happening. More mothers are going to be finding out about their sons just being dead on social media, or just having zero news at all, not even knowing where their son is, where he was buried, if he was even buried. Maybe he's just rotting somewhere on the Ukrainian farm field. Who knows, right? And the worst thing is that Ukraine was actually set up programs to transfer these bodies to Russia, and even the Russian authorities don't want to accept these bodies, right? We're refrigerating them in trucks close to Kiev. There was a report about that we have dozens of trucks, refrigerated trucks with hundreds of bodies, Russian soldiers in there, and nobody's claiming them. The Russian government clearly just doesn't care. So even their own people, they're treating them like crap. So what can you expect? And the last thing I wanted to mention before I go to the map a little bit, I'll just do quick analysis and I'll be finished with this video, is Russia's large military aircraft have started actively flying to Belarus. It may indicate that the Russian Federation is relocating heavy and large-sized weapons, military equipment, and troops. So I'm not sure exactly what the plan is going to be with that, but I'm not surprised. I think that the Belarus front is still one of those chips that Russia has that they're trying to push for. They need to have another front open for to spread the Ukrainian army thin, right? But the thing is that Ukrainians know that this is an option, right? They had the element of surprise in the beginning of February when they attacked from Belarus to take Kiev, but now we're completely aware of what all the positions, all the possibilities of attacks can come from the Belarus territory, right? Either northwestern Ukraine, to the Volyn Oblast, and I'll show you a little bit the map here so you can see a little bit what I'm talking about. So here you can see this is the Volyn Oblast, close to the city of Brest in Belarus. So they have a large concentration of Belarusian soldiers here. And, some say that they might try to attack from here. Then you have obviously the Korosten road that can also lead to Kiev. They also took the road from Chernobyl in the beginning of February to attack. So we already know the positions that they may attack us from. So the element of surprise is gone. And we've really fortified this entire border. I can be 100% sure that, as soon as they decide to cross, they're going to be met with heavy resistance. So I guess it's probably going to be the last, attempt by the Russian army to do something to change the outcome of this war, because now it's at a standstill. And I feel like the Russians are not really gaining much ground anymore. Their momentum has been completely lost ever since we got the HIMARS systems. And we've been able to hit all of their depots within Ukrainian-held territory, Russian-held territory in Ukraine, I should say. We've seen dozens of videos. I've showed you guys a lot of these all across Ukraine in the last few weeks of, and here you can see these like little dots are all the fires that are claimed as of today. And I assume these are all just ammo depots and bases that have been hit by the Ukrainian army. Alchevsk, which is a massive city that holds a lot of ammunition, has been hit multiple times by the Ukrainian army. Luhansk, which was for the very first time hit by the Ukrainian army since the beginning of the war, which is obviously a clear city where you can hold a lot of ammunition safely. But even then, it's not safe enough because we can hit them from Bakhmut easily. And yeah, and we're also gaining some ground, if I can show you, in the Odessa front. So we're pushing them a little bit more here. It's still tough. It's still tough. It's not 100% easy, but again, with more HIMARS systems, we're going to be able to essentially keep weakening the Russian army, keep destroying their logistical lines, and then they're going to be weak enough that they won't be able to defend all this territory. So that's the goal, is by the end of August, middle of August, that we're going to create and initiate a massive counteroffensive on all Ukrainian soil. So that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to pop out some more videos this week. But if you enjoy my video, my content, you can like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have anything to say. Thank you for listening, and I'm wishing you a very great day. Thank you. Bye, guys.